We made it.
Yeah.
Off of that. Holy cow.
Well, new brakes. Well, we just pulled off onto some BLM land to make some lunch. We're off of Highway 550, which goes north out of Albuquerque, heading towards Bloomfield, New Mexico. Farmington is up there, I think. And Linda just made cheese and salami sandwiches with potato chips and fresh grapes right out of the refrigerator. It was pretty nice, actually. Here's the way the brake repair went. We got online and we looked up brake repair Albuquerque. Of course, every mechanic shop that works on cars will advertise brakes too. But we needed to have it done fast, and I saw one place that was called Brake Masters, and with a name like that, that's the place to go. And yeah, Brake Masters in Albuquerque did us a really fine job. We took the car in at 8 o'clock this morning, and by 11 o'clock, we were on the freeway heading out of town with new rotors and new pads on the rear axle. It was great. But to make that work, we stayed overnight in the Cracker Barrel parking lot, which was about 2 buildings down from Brake Masters. What luck! And, you know, Cracker Barrel allows you to stay overnight. It's free. But out of respect for them for doing that, we always go in and order dinner. We usually just pick a breakfast, which you can eat at any time. Hey.
Hey. My breakfast was something I never had before.
Tell them about it.
It was, what was it? It was French toast and chicken.
And it was actually, she said, really good. I had some of her French toast. It was excellent.
It was very small, but it was just enough for me. Well, we're done with lunch. It was great, just sandwiches, and we can get back on the road.
Heading out. Well, we turned off the highway here on BLM land to go to Angels Peak Badlands Dispersed Camping. But the road was some of the worst washboard we have ever been on, and it's 6 miles of that, so we ain't going. Well, Linda and I made it down to a trailhead kind of late last evening. It said camping was okay. But once we got down here, we found out there were signs that said tent camping only, but the road was so bad getting in here that there was no way we were heading back out with no other place to go. So we just stayed. It was all right. But we are going to take that hike today because up here in the canyon are Navajo defensive sites of some kind. I don't think they're big, but they're from the 1750s, and we want to go up and have a look at them. Right now I'm walking down to the San Juan River here, and it's flood stage. There's a lot of flood warnings out. This campground could flood, but this is a beautiful place. It certainly is. The only problem is the mosquitoes, and the place is just infested with ants. We met one fella last night, and he was out hiking with his dog, and his dog's right paw got bit by ants. And the poor dog, she is limping and holding her paw up like, look, look. You know, it hurt. So we're between Bloomfield, New Mexico and Aztec, New Mexico. And this place is called the Simon Canyon. There are a lot of beautiful tent camping sites here. You have to walk back in. Well, this is the San Juan River, and it's just really flowing. The snow-laden mountains of Colorado are just an hour's drive to the north of us here, and that's what's feeding this. Later this afternoon, it'll be even higher. This is BLM land, and the trail here comes down along the river, and there's these beautiful campsites. This one here could be yours if you want to walk into it with a tent, but man, it is nice. Bring plenty of bug spray though. And of course you'd want to bring a fishing pole, because this right here is your backyard. It's catch and release only, and frankly I don't see the point. Sorry you fishermen, but I grew up on a lake, and when I was a kid money was tight and it was catch and eat. Yeah, and my parents were always glad when I brought home a string of fish, because that was supper. Yeah, we're camped down here. This is the San Juan River. And up the canyon here are these defensive sites. And there's a bunch of them. But we wanted to go up and go in and take a look. And the only other person here is a young lady from Virginia. Her tent's back in the trees to the left. And that's a nice vehicle. That's a Toyota 4Runner. Man, those are great cars. Not too good for towing though. Wish they had a V8. I always get out of the trailer in the morning and give Linda her space. Come on out here and make her a good cup of coffee. When the water's tight, I don't use the screen on the bottom. I just make cowboy coffee. The screen unscrews from here. That way I don't have to use excess water to wash the screen out. But it is nice having the insulated pot. Well, the first part of the trail, we just follow this road up, and then they say after you pass a water pump or something like that up in there, that you cut off to the hillside and follow that up, and they say you can't miss the ruins. I'm seeing on the map that there's more than one ruin, but I don't know if we'll find it or not. There's likely to be granaries, shelter sites for, you know, travelers and things like that that they built back then too. That might be what those other things are on the map.
Hello.
Well, we followed this four-wheel drive road up the canyon wall here, and up here is a pump, and it's pumping water from down below. And up that cliff face, man, that is one powerful pump. Well, now this is the beginnings of the actual trail. Yucca flower. They're actually good.
Shouldn't eat too many because they have saponin.
Is that what, like
For soap?
For soap. That was the native soap, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm. Well, you know how they say wash your mouth out with soap, or they stick a bar of soap in your mouth?
Been there.
Yeah, so we're good for quite a while.
Oh, wow, Linda. Is there a shelter back in here, maybe?
Don't know.
Let's go check it out. I can hear my echo. Could be. God planted a row of flowers right in front. Yeah, this area here is pretty large. Several people could be, if it was all smoothed out, you know, you'd be pretty comfortable back in there. I don't know. Doesn't look too comfortable. Ready to move in?
Yeah. Welcome.
I don't know, the first story here doesn't look too nice. It needs a little remodeling.
Yep.
Actually, that could work as a shelter. This probably
Yeah.
stuff has dropped over the ages, but all that
It
stuff.
looks like you can dig this out.
Yeah, and remove all the rock back there. It'd make a pretty good shelter back in there for sure.
Looks like it could get wet though.
Maybe, yeah. In a heavy rain.
Yep.
Rain may come, the water may pour through there. Maybe.
Remember that guy's basement in Seattle? He was buying old houses and the ones that had the dirt basement. He was digging it out. And remember? It was
Nope.
a friend of yours. Yeah. We went down his basement and it had a dirt floor and he was digging it out and leveling it. But it kind of looked like this to me. It wasn't as rocky, but anyways, what I'm saying is there's a lot you can do.
Yeah. I don't know, it looks like an old campfire ring out here. Like really old.
Oh, a little paint, little curtains, it won't hurt.
Ooh.
Wow. Is that a crack?
Yeah. Oh, I see that. I can see the bottom. Took my sunglasses off. About 15 feet down. Don't step out on that. The map showed other places up on the other side here. So I keep stopping and just looking for stacked stone. Wish I would have brought some binoculars. That would have helped. We talked to some hikers this morning that did this yesterday, this particular hike, and they said that all they saw was one major defensive site. So we're looking for other places too. Sometimes if you look carefully, you can see stacked stone up high on almost impossible places to get to. And those are granaries. And I've had people comment, they say, that's not a granary. Who in the world would put their food source up there? The Native Americans did to protect it so that other tribes couldn't come in and rob them easily of their food supply. No matter what we find, we feel very fortunate just to be out here right now. It's not very hot. The high today will be, probably upper 80s, but this morning it's just real pleasant. Air is dry. It's nice. And it's incredibly beautiful.
Are you sure we're going the right way? Because the turkey vultures are starting to circle.
There it is.
Oh,
Hard to see, but we'll get up to it. It's right up there, top of that stone. It's just a stone tower. Real obvious though. Well, it's listed as a defensive site. Hope they talk to the Navajo about that. To me, it doesn't make a lot of sense. How many people can get up there to defend themselves? I mean, it certainly looks substantial. Let's get up closer.
yeah. Remember that kiva we went to?
I do, the one along the highway?
Yeah, and then we walked along a trail and there were signs that said that it used to be a watchtower.
There was a watchtower next to it. I remember that.
Yeah, and they said what they used that for was to signal another village. And they had a system of signals that said, you know, it's time to come over for the feast, or we want to trade, or...
Yeah, because I remember there was a tall tower built of rocks like that one. And they said you could see the next tower, which was miles off in the distance. Well, maybe.
Hey, maybe.
Maybe, yeah. This is definitely high up here. This is towards the highest part of the canyon, too.
Okay, you scramble up there and look for the next tower.
I'll send you a signal.
Okay.
All right. Oh, I see a signboard over there. Let's see if it says anything.
Okay, on one of the pages I read about this defensive fort, one of the commenters said that there used to be a rope ladder that you could get up to.
Yeah, because it's totally, I mean, you know, there is no way to climb up there.
Which is why it's probably well preserved.
Well, I like Linda's idea. It's defensive in that it's a signal tower to signal further on down. Because this is a narrow canyon where from up there they can see anybody coming through. And the Utes were their mortal enemies. So I think Linda's got the best idea. Well, that reader board said that it has its original wooden roof. They say this is from the 1750s. That's the era of this tower.
You know, along a country's border, long ago, they had sentry guards, right, along the border. That's what I think that is. It's a sentry guard guarding the border of the Utes, or against Navajo, or the vice versa.
Well, from here, you can see from the top of that far ridge, way over there, I'm going to swing slowly here so I don't make people dizzy. I'm swinging 180 degrees around, and there's the tower, and you can see the top of that far ridge way over there. They could easily signal from ridge to ridge that way and down into the valleys below. I just like to just stand here and just feel what the area feels like if you were stationed up there. And right now, if I just be quiet, I can get a feel for that. Well, I saw on the map, and I read on that board back there, that there are several other stone structures going up this canyon, and they weren't built by the Navajo, they were built by the Utes beforehand. So this was a thing where the Utes and the Navajo were fighting over territory, and the Navajo eventually moved out of this area. All the way in here, we've been looking for signs of pottery or flakes from tool making. We haven't seen a thing. So either it's all been picked up, which is highly likely because this is a kind of a hiking destination, or they didn't live in this area, they just traveled through here. Don't know. What you got there, Linda?
Oh, I'm just digging through what looks like an old campfire.
Oh.
And I thought I found some artifacts.
Like what?
Like this.
Samuel Adams. You know, he was brewing beer back in the 1700s, so evidently that's what the Indians up here were drinking. Because this site is, like I mentioned, 1750.
Yeah, I wonder where the 7-Eleven was.
I don't know. Good find. We're looking for a way to get down to the creek bottom below, because it looks like it'll be a nice, easier and cooler way to go back. And yes, I say crick. I'm from Montana. Some people write in, they correct me, they go, it's creek, like I don't know how it's spelled, you know. No, in Montana we say crick. It's like when I was a kid living in Manchester, New Hampshire. I thought it really strange. They said potatoes and tomatoes. It all depends where you live.
How did they say it?
Potatoes and tomatoes. And don't the English say potatoes and tomatoes?
Yeah, we say potatoes.
Yeah, the trail's gotten a little sketchy in places. You just have to think about it a little bit before you actually traverse a certain section or certain sections. Think about it, you know, like, is my life insurance paid up? Let's see. Oops, I got to take a look at this and figure out the next step. Well, we're slowly getting a little lower. Got to pick and choose really carefully. That don't look too Garens. That doesn't look too guaranteed, but maybe up here. Yeah. At the same time, you're trying not to fall off the edge here. You're watching for rattlesnakes. Just to make it a little more interesting. You don't want to get bored out here. I thought this might be a piece of pottery, but it's not. It's just a piece of rock that somebody laid up here. That's the importance of having a A stick, a hiking stick, is just to steady yourself going through areas like this. Can you find your way down from there?
Yeah.
Yeah, you got this. Down! Well, that was fun, making our way from up there down to the dry wash down here. Well, the trip going back is easier. Once you make your way down to the wash down here, you just follow it out. And it's cooler. You don't get the views that you got on the upper trail. And down here, I think I can fill my water bottle too somewhere.
So you're just squeezing it in?
Yeah. The wonders of modern technology. Yeah, the water still tastes a little bland, kind of a taste, but it's safe to drink that way. Oh man, look at the roots on this big tree. Yeah, that is one massive cottonwood. Old, maybe several hundred years old.
Hey, look, there's a rope up there. Look, there's another one further out. It has chain on it.
Well, that means that somebody climbed out there and strung these up. Yeah, more brave than me.
Huh. Wonder how old that is.
I suppose during certain times of the year, this would flow pretty good. Yeah, rope swing. Well, I'm glad it's dry now because we're walking down here. Yeah, Linda, you go on ahead. If you sink out of sight, I'm going to go a different way.
Okay, that'll be our signal, right?
That's right.
Okay, we're at the end of our hike now and we're headed back to camp, which is right over there, kinda. And we'll pack up and leave and head for Utah, huh?
Yeah, Utah for us is like going home. We just love southern Utah. And we're going to go there right now and look. If it's not too hot, we're heading for Valley of the Gods. We'll see.
Yeah, we're eventually making our way home.
Yeah. Thanks,
So,
you guys.
see
See you
ya.
around.